Hi, this is Dana. It's Thursday night. It's 9:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to my live stream. I hope you'll stick around for a while. Tonight's topic was going to be food, and we can talk about anything if you have a need to, but mainly I'm going to focus in on the topic of food. Went to the grocery store this afternoon and bought food, but it was one of those buying trips where we needed practically everything, and I needed some other things besides food, like paper towels and toilet paper, and I failed to get that. So I guess I'll be making another trip in the next day or two. Today is the 4th of July, and it's the birth of our country. Hey, hi Aaron, welcome to the live stream. You can just listen, hon, I understand. I keep on putting my finger over the camera. I apologize. So, hi Mary, welcome to the live stream. I'm sitting downstairs doing... Huh? Anyway, I didn't mean to stop there, but I shall continue on. The 4th of July, they have been doing fireworks in all the cities and towns around me. I don't love them, but we used to rent an apartment over in the downtown area in the thriving metropolis that's nearest to where we live. And we would stand in the parking lot and watch the fireworks, and that was a lot of fun. Mary says she hates fireworks too, and fireworks just aren't altogether a funny thing. But that's what happens when you go through a trauma, and it's, of course, a trauma is a trauma is a trauma, but when it's in the middle of the night and it's a trauma, it's a trauma. That's for sure. I'm real jumpy with loud noises, cars, motorcycles, just anything like that. And a lot of people who have been through traumas, and some people will use the excuse, having been in the military, that they were traumatized, and for some that is true. But as I was on here talking about when North Korea killed 2 of our soldiers on the DMC who were on a tree cutting detail while I was there, that traumatized me. And it's something that I've never been quite able to shake. But I'll have to say, I've learned coping mechanisms since Mary had her trauma. And it's helping me. I color sometimes. I have on my YouTube page about me that I make pot holders. And the truth is, it's very relaxing for me, but I probably haven't made none in about 2 or 3 years. Anything that engages my mind and my hands together is good. It's good for not only PTSD, but also because I have Parkinson's and I suffer from some of the shaking, not nearly as bad as other people do, but that have Parkinson's, but bad enough where it's really a challenge for me when I do makeup or when I do my hair. Um, so, anyway, I veered off of the food um, subject. Mary said her cousin's dogs are afraid of thunderstorms and fireworks, and she has to give them benzos. And no, that's really sad though, because they can't communicate like we are now. You just have to know by their actions that something is really wrong. Anyway, back to the food subject. Um, I've been trying to eat what my body tells me to eat. Oh, God, help us all. And that's been sweet stuff and primarily ice cream sandwiches. And while I was at Kroger's, I got like cranberry, apple, walnut, jello type mixture that was on clearance. And I had some of that for supper tonight. And that was pretty good. I feel bad because my number one daughter hasn't had any supper, and like I said, it's after 9:30 p.m. here, which I hope that she's just listening to her body and is just not hungry rather than just not able to sleep. Um, Another one of the people I watch here on YouTube that has been a big inspiration to Mary and to me is the Fry Life. And I ordered Mary this really cool hat and keychain from their online store, and I got myself a water bottle. And I have a little surprise coming for Mary. It just took a little bit longer to get it. Tomorrow, Mary has a MRI scheduled for pretty early in the morning. I guess it's not so early for some people, but for us night owls, if it's in the morning, it's early. My dad and my brother are on their little camping adventure, and they seem to be having a good time. My dad said he caught some crappie, a bass, and I think he said maybe a perch or two. I'm not really sure if he said that or not. Maybe it was a trout. I don't know. I don't think we have many trout, if any, in our pond now, but could be. Who knows? Um, they're having a good time, except they said it was extremely hot. And of course, they're staying in a pop up camper, so they won't get much relief from the heat until tonight. Um, I see where Mary said she loves Mary Fry. She is so strong, and she really is. She's in the hospital right now because she was having problems. They had her on IV antibiotics at home, and she was having lots of issues, and her blood work uh, bottomed out on her, so they had to admit her to the hospital. But she said in her video today that the blood work results had came back and her blood levels had came up a little, but that they were going to try to start her on the I guess it's the second antibiotic tonight, called Cipro, which Mary's had a lot of that. So my Mary, not Mary Fry, but she is strong, and she's got a really good attitude along with her husband. And what was so touching about the video today is her service dog, which is a standard poodle named Oliver, was laying across her legs in the hospital bed. And that was really cute. Uh, of course, Oliver has to wear a vest when he's in the hospital with her. It says, working service animal, please do not pet. But he's, you can tell he's really attached to his owner, Mary, and that was really good to see today. Hi, Newly. Welcome to the live stream. We're supposed to be talking about food, but it seems like I've veered a lot off the subject and been talking about other YouTubers and the 4th of July and what different people are doing to celebrate. Uh, Speaking of which, my dog Murphy, something just bothered him. What's the OMAD diet, if you don't mind me asking? The Fry Life is on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel. And she has cystic fibrosis. And she's been married for about 10 years. Her husband is a pastor. But they're getting ready to move to North Carolina to be near to a transplant center because she's been found in need of having a double lung transplant and a liver transplant. And so those were in North Carolina. It was one of the few hospitals that has experience. Okay, you were doing it along with a keto diet before you got sidelined into the vegan experiment. I like that. I think Mary must have put up a link to their channel, and I appreciate that, Mary. You're a good egg. I don't care what anybody says, you're a good egg. Which brings me to something else. Talking about vegan, when we were on a vegan diet years ago, we didn't eat eggs or cheese, but we did use honey. And I'm just really on the fence about, is it wrong to use honey? Because you don't have to kill the bees to take the honey. I'm trying to read Newly's comments about after the first 2 days you aren't hungry until mealtime, then ding. Then you never eat as much as you think it would. It's extreme intermittent fasting, basically. I've tried the keto diet before when I was working at the hospital, not the VA, but one of our local hospitals in the ER, and I really struggled with that. Yeah, I see Newly that vegans are against honey, and like I said, I struggled with that because we were on the McDougall diet years ago, and it was kind of like okay to have some honey. And so that's just something that I feel like is right for me, but maybe not for anybody. Oh, okay, I see what Newly's saying. Unless you get it from a beekeeper that doesn't kill the hive or feed them sugar water. Do what? We get our honey from. Yes, we do. And one of our neighbors here in the neighborhood has been really keen on keeping bees, and I don't know whether she's tried and maybe not been successful or just hasn't ever got everything together to be able to do that. But okay. I'm learning a lot about honey. Um, anyway, that's my rant about honey. Like I said, it didn't used to, when you were on a vegan diet, seem to be wrong or an ethical choice to make, but I can understand, as I was telling Mary about a video that I watched called Food Inc., and I believe I watched it on Hulu, and that was just, it shook me to my knees, and it really made me think. There are only about 5 or 6 big producers here in this whole country in the lower 48 United States. And I found that kind of amazing. And I just, I didn't realize it. I guess maybe I knew it in my spirit, but didn't know it up here in my head, that there were so few people who actually own farms. It's practically all big companies, all big corporations, and they're certainly not ethical. I can say that for sure. They showed a woman who ran chicken farm on her property, and she was trying to do it ethically as she could, but I guess it was Tyson chicken, and they finally dropped their contract with her because she wouldn't do the dark tunnels, chickens don't ever get to see the light of day type thing that the big corporate entities want. And yeah. And no, there is some poultry farms, not here where we live in Southwest Virginia, but farther up the Shenandoah Valley, around Stanton, Virginia. They have one. And yeah, Tyson is terrible. It did show them in the movie I watched about the farmers, the truck drivers coming in the middle of the night to get the chickens, and it was just, it really did a number on me. I still haven't got over it, and hopefully maybe I never will. Anyway, ethically sourced food. I know now you can get such things as ethically sourced coffee. And before that, I had watched film for my BookTube channel, which I'll be doing the video, I think, tomorrow on it, and talking about what goes on with the making of clothes. And that's not a good thing either. Yeah, they control what they feed and how the house, and the grower does not get a say Newly said she recently gave up coffee. Had to when going back to OMAD. I'll pray for you for sure. One of the things about the microbiotic diet is you don't drink coffee. And they do recommend some grain coffee, not bean coffee. But here in our house, we have a big coffee maker, and we also have small K-cup maker. I turned my sound off. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yeah, when I had the lap band done in 2009, one of the first things the people said in the local support group for weight loss surgery was to get off the caffeine before you go into the hospital, because in the hospital they won't give it to you. And that was really good advice. That was some of the best advice I could have got. Darn. Anyway, oh yeah. Mary sent me a bird video, and I laughed. And it reminded me when I was working briefly for the rescue mission, and the kids and I used to volunteer there at Christmas and Thanksgiving to help feed people who are hungry and homeless. And they had a bird in the talking bird in the men's part of the rescue mission, and it would talk really, really dirty. Kind of like this video that Mary sent to me of the bird. The man said he rescues birds, and he doesn't recommend that people buy babies, because this bird obviously had issues. And we remembered a friend of ours who had a bird, and they lived in Dubai for a long time. They moved back here to the States where we live, and they brought the damn bird back with them. And the bird would ring like a telephone. The bird would answer the telephone, and he would talk on the telephone. The bird was really something too, but nothing like his bird that Mary had sent to me. It was on YouTube. Yeah, birds are got to be super smart. Very sensitive animals. Imagining that they are sensitive, because like Mary said, it was obvious that the bird she sent me the video of had been mistreated. You could tell because how angry it was and how it talked, because the only way it really had a say in some of the things it did is if it had heard them before. And that reminds me of another thing that we used to support with our time and dollars and presents whenever we could, and that was Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. They rescue big cats that people take in as pets, and they don't realize they're going to get so big. And they just do an amazing job.
not right.
Watch the one with Eric. Stop it, Eric. Uh, I listened to some of Charles's debate with Plantronic, and I think that Plantronics was really gracious with Charles, and I hope that their chat is going to help Charles and not make him more upset. Okay, Noodly sent us a link to watch the bird. I guess it must be Eric the bird. What have you got there, my son?
Well, one of the things entangled up is what
Oh,
I was
okay.
asking. This I was asking Laura, and this I don't know why I made it down here. Just for the time being.
My best helper, grocery store helper's here in the living room with me. He needed some earphones.
The Dollar Tree earbuds.
They're Dollar Tree earbuds, and I hear Mary upstairs just laughing as hard as she.
Make sure I don't think catch this shit on fire or not, because it's a DCN outlet or power cord. Is running 8 volts, supposed to be 4.2, and the output's 300 mAh when it does need to be 2.
Eric is funny, Mary said. Yeah, Mary said he's just throwing the change. I guess I'll have to turn my iPad on and see if I can't find Eric the naughty bird. Mary's talking about some no laughing challenge. Yeah. Birds are a lot of work too, though. We have some friends that live in southern Virginia near the North Carolina line, and they have the big birds that require the big cages, and
Right. And as far as birds and people, everybody lives, and people's names and birthday stuff, you're amazing my memory can be from time to time.
You been a naughty boy today, Eric?
okay, I've got Eric the Naughty Bird up on my iPad.
No. Have you been a naughty boy today? You're not a fucking legend at all. Did you bash up the dog? No, you're not a fucking legend. Did you scare the cat? Did you scare the cat? Lester, don't laugh at him. He's not funny. Eric, look at me. Look at me, look at me, look at me. You're not a fucking legend at all. You're a naughty, 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 naughty boy. You're not. You're not. You're not. Lester,
Why they always have to use the dirty words? It's because I hear them.
naughty, naughty, naughty. No, he doesn't want to kiss a legend because you're not a legend. He doesn't want to kiss a legend.
Which one's the ones where he's throwing the money? Oh, okay. Rainy day boredom. Okay. That's the best because the lady was freaking out. Okay. Yeah, when I get it, I can hold it where I can show it on YouTube. Well, I'm having a hard time doing two things at one time. Imagine that.
You want me to reset your router?
No. No, it's because we're all on live stream.
Both y'all on live stream?
Yeah,
Is Daddy on live stream?
I don't think so.
You think he has a secret live stream that he does sometimes?
He might.
Eric, will you get out of it?
And the percentage chance
Eric,
would it be
no.
over 50?
Get out of it. Eric, no. Stop it. Get out of it. Naughty bird. Yes, naughty bird. Come on. Eric. Eric.
He's mocking her.
Eric. Naughty bird. Naughty bird. Naughty bird, Eric. Come on. That's it. No, enough. Enough. Come on. Enough. Get out of it. Get. I'll get the fish. I'm gonna get the scary fish. I'm gonna get the scary fish, and I'm gonna put the scary fish on the shelf. Where? Lester? I'll get it. Yes, I will.
That's pretty funny. I've still got it going in the background, but he is very naughty, isn't he?
Back up to him because you've made all this mess now. I've got to clean it up.
Yeah, he is. And wonder what kind of bird he is, Newly. Do you know?
No more. No more, Eric. No more. No more. Where's the lid? Where's the lid? No more. No more. No more. No, I've got to clean it up. No, no more. Get your head out. Quick. Right. No, you're naughty. No, you're not having it.
Oh, he's mad. Oh. A cockatoo or a teal, okay. Well, he sure is a funny guy. And what's the name of that bulldog we watch, Mary? Reuben The bulldog. Yeah, he's pretty funny too. Yeah, he has almost 100,000 viewers. Speaking of North Carolina, he lives in North Carolina and actually left a comment on one of his videos and said, do you do, what's it called, meet and greets? I said we would come to meet Reuben. We would. All right, well, it's getting late. I appreciate everybody dropping into the live stream about food tonight here on July the 4th. And I want to say, please remember to be kind to one another. And remember, we love you. Bye.